Want to improve your writing skills? Here are 5 ways to improve it, and especially in work and social contexts. Hi, I am Ajeeth from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary Learn It Together English fluency program. It is fun, easy, quick, affordable, and effective. We promise a brand new you in 6 months or less through our Capshine program. Let's get to why we need to write better. Well, if you're in a social setting or, well, you're working, it's very likely that you have to share complex ideas or just communicate and update people on what's going on. And you usually do this by chat, by email, or any other written form. So it's important that 1, you can come across well, that you can put forward your ideas clearly, and 2, you can use your language to persuade others to make sure they listen to you. Right? And that's very important, especially in a workplace. So to be able to write well is important for, if you're communicating in social media, in social exchanges with friends or family or people that you're meeting for the first or second time, and of course, work exchanges, emails, Teams communication, Hangout messages, emails, whatever it is. So how do you do that? How do you improve your writing skills? Well, the first thing you can do is to look more professional. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to avoid something called contractions. Let me show you some examples. They're unavailable to meet. That's a sample, right? So they're unavailable to meet. So this is a contraction where they and are put together. When you're speaking, this is perfectly fine. In fact, I would say use contractions more often. It makes you sound like a native speaker. But when you write, this is not considered formal. This is not considered appropriate for written communication. So what you do is avoid the contraction. They are unavailable to meet. Similarly, he didn't know that the meeting was on today. He did not know that the meeting was on today. So avoid contractions, and that can really make you sound and, well, look more professional than if you used contraction. Now you might think this is a very simple thing, but it actually has a huge impact. Avoid intensifiers. So in one of our previous videos, and make sure you check that out, we spoke about how to avoid words like very. And this is essentially intensifiers. So instead of saying the interview questions were very confusing, you could say the interview questions were perplexing. Notice how the language and you sound much more sophisticated and professional by avoiding very. And this is just one example. Imagine you're using very, to, so quite often. You will sound less professional and less articulate as a result. I felt very tired after the 3-hour meeting. So instead of very tired, you could say I felt exhausted. Avoid very, so, and all these other intensifiers as much as you can. Use better words to describe your feelings or situations by doing this. And again, you will sound much more professional as a result. Speaking of using words effectively, with the Capshine 30-day free membership, you get access to speaking opportunities, you get to practice and learn as a group, you get a personal coach who gives you recommendation on what you need to do for your next steps to become more proficient and fluent month after month. And of course, daily micro lessons that helps you build your core skills, and live classes where you can have doubt clarification sessions and learn foundational skills live with a mentor. Let's continue our journey on becoming a better writer. Connect your ideas. Many times what we do is that we write down sentences but don't necessarily connect them logically, right? So we may put down our ideas one after the other, but we don't necessarily connect them. Let's say you're writing an email to your manager or your boss saying that you need to increase the budget for hiring, right? So you say, we need to hire more people. We need to increase our budget for hiring. All the managers are saying that they need more staff. This is important to increase efficiency, right? So you've put down your points, but they're not well connected. Instead, if you can use connecting words to connect your ideas, you will come off more articulate and you're more likely to be understood and be more persuasive. For example, it has come to light that a lot of managers have been asking for more resources. They feel this because they are short-staffed, and they feel that the efficiency would improve with more team members. Therefore, I request you to increase the budget by 50% so that we can hire staff to fill these positions. Notice how this sounds way more articulate than writing in bullet points. So these are what transitions or connecting words do. Some examples of these are as follows. If you're giving multiple points, start off with firstly, on the first point I want to make is that furthermore, to add on to whatever you're saying, however, to show a contrast or a contradiction, another point to consider, again, to follow through with the idea that you're saying, and of course, if you want to summarize and if you're concluding, to summarize, to conclude, this really ties it all together. Use connecting words to connect your ideas, and you'll realize that your writing becomes substantially better as a result. The next thing you do is proofread. When you proofread, you check what you've written to make sure there are no errors, and you check for very specific things. What are the things you proofread for? Well, you proofread for punctuations. Make sure you put your full stops where you have to. Make sure you put your commas where you have to. To know where to put commas and to use them correctly, make sure you subscribe so that you get notification when we release that video soon. Don't miss that out. Check spellings. Make sure you've not misspelled something. Usually, if you're typing on Teams or on mail, you have a spell check plugin already. So make sure you check your spellings. Make sure you've not made any spelling mistakes. Check your capitalization. Make sure that your I's are capitalized. I am, so I is always capitalized. And make sure that the beginning of every sentence, the beginning word, the first letter of the first word in every sentence is capitalized. Right? Simple stuff, but it can go a long way to make you look way more professional when you write. And of course, review connecting words. So make sure that your flow of thoughts is clear and you show the flow of thoughts and the connection between these ideas using words like first, second, third, moreover, however, contrastingly, and to summarize. Use these words to connect your ideas and you'll realize that your written communication is way better to understand and it comes off much clearly. And of course, work on yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, work on a few things. First, read more. Know that writing is directly related to reading. So the more you read and the more kinds of things that you read related to what you want to write about, the more likely you are to write better. And you'll be able to use certain structures, certain words, certain ways of describing things in your own writing. So start reading more, and this will have a huge effect in the long term in how well you write. Build your vocabulary. Check out our video on how to build your vocabulary effectively. Make sure you start your journey in building your vocabulary because using better words, not necessarily fancy words, but the right kind of word for the right kind of context can make you look very impressive when you write. Find a mentor. So find someone who can correct you, give you feedback on your written stuff, right? So maybe it's an email that you have to send. Run it by someone who is already a great writer. Get their feedback on what you could do to improve it. A few feedback sessions, maybe 2 or 3 times, can go a long way to improving your written communication. This can make a huge difference in your writing style. Did you find that useful? Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell notification to not miss more videos like these. And of course, do check out capshine.com, download the app to get your 30-day free trial. Thanks for watching.